Okay. Honestly, this thing's just going to keep pushing me back into the runway, I'm convinced of it. It's not working, typical brothers. I haven't set it.
Set parking brakes.
You find this baby in real life. Nice, dude.
Unlocking gear. Tow truck disconnected.
Okay.
Bypass main removed.
Clean starts that. The pack's back on. Flick over onto the main bus. APU is no longer required. Turn off. Turn the APU bleed off. 30,000 set there. Let's see.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
The pizza's on now. Most of that's done, but not all of it. Okay, flap. 5. RTO is set. We are set for hectopascal 1012, which is what we want. Let's do a control check. Okay, controls are working okay, which is always good. What package am I using? AI, what do you mean? I don't know what you mean, AI package. So I'm down over VNAV 269 set, 141. It's all good. Tax lights, come on. I haven't got my checklist, so I don't know what my before taxi checklist is. Let's see what we are. Actually, it wasn't so bad, actually. Assuming we can make it through that goalpost, we'll be fine. GSX is doing the pushback stuff, yeah. We're so gonna hit something here. Oh, plenty of room. We're flying from East Midlands and we're going up to Glasgow. That's what we're doing. I'm not using FS to crew now. Never really got on with FS to crew, you know? I haven't played a flight sim for years now, ever since I discovered ETS2 and Farm Sim. Yeah, it's it takes a lot of effort flight simming, but it's quite rewarding. Flight takes just over an hour, I think. Hey Chili Willies, how you doing, sir? Good morning to you. Okay, auto throttle is armed, flight directors. Is arms on? Yeah, it's on. 11 VNAV are engaged, 141 set. Flaps are at 5. Doing good. I'm tired, but I'm alright. What airline? We are flying... What's the best camera to use that one? Jet 2 is what we're flying. They don't fly from here to Glasgow, but I don't care. They do fly 737-800. I'm not a real pilot of RG, but I am studying to be a private pilot, but not commercial. How can you be getting plane sick? We're only taxiing, dude. A reposition flight. A series of reposition flights, Hoaxter, that's what it is. Maybe Ryanair hired this aircraft because one of their planes broke down. You know, like in Southampton. Passenger wing view hype.
Aye.
Peter the Hobbit, thank you for 500 bits. And Tcash should have gone on to that one initially.
Happy anniversary.
Not today, Motley, no. Atlanta Dark. It only works with GA stuff, really, Motley. No, they're accurate. Great view. Atlanta Dark, thank you for 31 months. Okay, let's pull up short there a second. Right, so, on the overhead, all the lights are coming on, engines are going on to continuous, position lights going on to strobe, don't need the logo or wing lights, 30,000 set, all those are in the correct position, pitot heats are on, hydraulics are all on, everything looks good on the overhead. Over to TARA, flaps are on 5. We don't arm the speed brake on this. I don't know what Jet 2 does actually. Config. Recoil is checked. Flight controls are checked. Flaps have been set. Stability trim's been set. Start continuous. MCP has been set 6,000 initially. Heading is 269. Okay, let's go flying. Yeah, we could worry about the passengers, I guess. Isolation valve should be in the auto position. Was it not an auto? It should have been an auto. What, the no smoking's off? What? What are you seeing this? What's the no smoking sign? Ben. Done it on TS today. Spam the bing bong. Yeah, but this plane's not from 2018, is it? I can't imagine being stuck on a plane with people smoking. Like, how bad would that be? So, it looks like East Midlands has a displaced threshold, if you know what that means. And if you don't, I'll explain it. So a displaced threshold is when you see these arrows here, it basically means that you can taxi on this for purposes of takeoff, but you can't land on this. You can only land after the piano keys. So that's a landing area with your touchdown zones down there, but you can't land on this. That's called a displaced threshold. In case you didn't know. Stevie, LFC, 5,000 bits, dude. Welcome to Careless Air, sorry, Jet 2 today. Parley's is Captain Squill, and all we can say is good luck. Stevie, thank you, dude. Right, throttle up to 40%. Stabilise the engines. Engines are stable. Hit the toga, push the control stick down until we get to about 70 knots. And hope that we got all our calculations right. Knots.
V1.
V1.
Rotate.
There's rotate.
V2.
Bring it up gently. There's always a risk of a tail strike on this thing. Gears coming up. I'll punch in the auto part so we can get some scenic views here. Look at that. Beautiful. That looks really nice. There's the D right. Not quite reached flap 1 speed yet. Let's lock the gear. Should have started the clock really. Calm but misty weather by the look of it. It's very misty. Okay, let's clear ourselves up. 160. Okay, so you say there's an altitude restriction of 5,000 at the moment. Oh no, that's 5,000 or above. That's at flight level 060. So we're not going to climb too much just yet. Not today, Juju. Paulie's Custom Skins gifted a sub to Drescher86. Thank you very much, Paulie. Paulie, I'm glad you're here, dude. Paulie, how do you fancy doing plane skins, Paulie? Aircraft skins. For this thing. I need to do Squirrel Airlines for this. It's just like doing Eurotruck. Just pieces that you have to texture. What do you think, Paulie? Okay, so 6,000 is our transition level as well. No, honestly, Paulie, I've seen it. It's just a Photoshop with all the different elements. It's just the same. But there's loads of stuff you could do. And they're really popular, Paulie. Crikey, that is misty. No, not all the lights are off, Ben, just the retractables. The fixed lights are still on. Yeah, you turn them all off at 10k. We're just holding at 6,000 now. It probably is easier than ETS, to be honest, to skin.
Happy anniversary, Nata.
I thought I had brought them in. Apparently not. Cohen 51, 8 months. Coffee. It's come back. I want a coffee now. Blimey. What is going on there? Okay, we're climbing. Right, standard pressure. The weather's pretty calm, that's why. There's only a few fluffy clouds. We don't really need the weather radar. I'll put the data on though. I had a lovely cappuccino before the stream. Scumbag. Referick. Watching this streamer on the left monitor and on the right, air crash investigation. Great combination. Oh my god. Well, we're not going to get much of a view, are we? Your Chancellor 737 pilot mentioned that they only turn the retractable lights on the approach when they're cleared to land. Yeah, so that's why I didn't pull out the fixed lights, because what they use this as a memory trick. That's what he's saying. Basically, they won't put all the lights down until they get cleared, and then they'll put all the lights down, and that gives them like a aid memoir. Should be pretty stable now. Why doesn't that chime when you go to off? Okay, all the lights are off. What cursor? It's just the black cursor with a white border. You can choose different ones in the control panel. Right, let's clear ourselves all the way up to 30. Well, if you look at the weather forecast down at EGPF, 15 Celsius, 40 at 4 knots, pretty calm wind. No precipitation reported. It's a very calm day in Glasgow. Third-party textures. What do you mean in the P3D? In the PMDG? It's very misty, isn't it? If flying cars exist in the future, would you need a special type of license like a pilot's license and drivers combined? Great Mew. I'll be honest with you, Great Mew. I don't think the general population would be able to fly safely. Like, there's a lot you need to learn. It's not like driving a car. There's a lot you need to learn to fly safely. So I don't know. Maybe we'll just be having, like, drones or something to fly, rather than getting people to do it. But yeah, if you want to fly, you're going to need a pilot's license at the moment. I can't see them relaxing that too much. Just because it's a flying car doesn't mean to say it's not basically an aircraft. Well, yeah, this is it. Some people forget to use indicators, so, you know, translate that over to the cockpit and you're going to forget to do a lot of stuff. No, I'm not using Orbex England. I have got it, but I haven't got it installed, I don't think. I know I've got Orbex Scotland, though, installed, so when we get to Scotland you'll see Orbex, but I think this is just, what's it called? OpenLC or something? Can you do an emergency landing scenario? Yeah, you can. You can simulate most things. Still climbing. Right, while that's running, I'm going to go and look at EGPF. No problem, ninja shots. Please do a looping. I have never had a looping in a 737. I'm not even going to answer that question. Is that Manchester? Hang on. Let's see, off to our left is EGCC. Is that it? Wow, that ground texture. Stefan, welcome back. I guess the engines are much quieter inside the real thing. You can mess about. If you come down here, there's let's see, the setup has options for sound, and you can basically play around with the volumes of all the stuff in here. The ambience level, which is like the cabin noise. When you click controls, how much noise they make. And then in the actual options, you've got engine volumes and stuff. P3D is not a game, Juju. It's not licensed for entertainment. If you go to the website, you'll see that specifically, that they do not license it for entertainment. They only license it for training or commercial use. So therefore it is not a game. Let's see. Where's my browser gone? Llama 2 Alpha. Yeah, it's V4. Llama 2 Alpha goes to Lanark. Has to be Lanark flight level 70. Well, according to the approach chart, you have to be. at 7,000 Atlantic, according to the approach charts. Banner 45, Paul. Can you do a barrel roller loop and nose dive a crash and how was Truck Fest? Lol. Okay, we just reached top of climb. And what do you know? Top of descent comes up real soon after.
Welcome back, Nata.
Okay, so we'll punch that in so I can do other stuff. Clear ourselves back down to 160. B747, welcome back. Creeper Weeps, thank you for 2 months. Trying to send 200 bits, but it says the channel has a minimum of 200. Try sending 201, Atlanta Dog. That's really weird. So Atlantic is what level? 70. Let's get some stuff set up here. Can you simulate disaster scenarios, engine failure, power loss? Yeah, you can. I know you can basically, on X-Plane, they're quite detailed. You can have them random or at specific times and stuff. P3D has a similar thing, I think, but I've never tried it. So we're going to go for 115.4 is, I believe, hang on, ILS DME23 is 110.1. So it should be 110.1. Crash the plane, it'll be fun. It's a bit easy though, isn't it? Like, I reckon you could probably do that, whereas I can fly it and you can't. 115.4. Right, let's put that on BOR2. It'll pick that up at some point. I get so annoyed with people doing that though. Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
Atlanta Dark. Okay, it works, just can't send 2 Cheer 100s. Works on the channels though. Yeah, because the minimum's 200. You read some stuff on the P3D website. I can buy $59. I'm not allowed to use it for personal entertainment or for studies. Call me confused. You can buy the student version if you're a student, if you're in full-time education. Otherwise, you're supposed to buy the professional. But, you know, it's always a case of, are they going to know? Are they going to check? Dr. D, I put in the GOW, the Glasgow VOR into the right-hand panel. That's why I put 114.4 because that's, sorry, 115.4. Thank you. Okay, I think we'll go with flaps 30.
Ay, ay, ay.
58.4. That's 110.1. Set. Lands are dark. Anyway, sorry for the absence of the last few months. Life and stuff keeps getting in the way. No problem, dude. I understand. It's all good. Well, I know floated the Airbus can't. Like, the computers will not even let you roll it. I'm not sure about the Boeing. Let's see. I like a 7,000. Forecast. Transition level is 060. I'm not worried about that. Right, what's the decision height on this thing? The Boeing computers won't let me. There you go. Two, 2, 1. Our minimum. Let's go. GLW. Yeah, that's a bit of a mess at the moment. Anyway, if you put a /10, and we'll have a /4 ring. Drag required. Okay, the course is Glasgow. 230. You think P3D should add passengers to the plane and camera view? That's not down to P3D to do that. Let's put ourselves down to 7,000, which is Lanark. Now, where do we intercept? We intercept at 2,900, so after Lanark, we'll have to vector ourselves in, and we want to be 2,900 at 9.8 DME from GOW. So I'll put that 10-mile ring on. We want to be 2,900 as we hit that ring. That's the plan, Stan. Import elevation is more or less 0. don't know. Oh, it's a long runway. 8743 feet. Blimey. Use sprites for passengers? Well, in Factorio sprites, like 20 pixels, that would be brilliant. Okay, Auto Brake 2 is going to do us today. I really need to pull out my checklist. Pressurization, land altitude is done, anti-ice not required. Approach briefing discussed with myself. Indicated airspeed's bug checked and set. So we want to be (140). The wind is super calm. So around about 145. Now we're currently on the glide slope still, as indicated here. It's picking up GOW VOR now, look. Speed brakes are still out, because if I take them back in, I think it's going to cry. Okay, yeah. So CF23 okay, we're good all at the moment. Yeah, I mean, I have 32 gig of RAM. I don't know how much P3D is going to use of that. Can have a look at my task manager, I suppose. I'm currently using 10 gigabytes in total for everything. If I look at what P3D is doing, P3D is currently taking 2.5 gigabytes of RAM. So we're nowhere near going to. MP they don't, mate. That's why I put Unreal Ops in the title. Yeah, P3D V4 is 64-bit. Mr. Savamura, how you doing, sir? Good to see you back in the cockpit. I was in the cockpit at 4 AM. I had to stop myself and go and sleep. So this should be Orbeck, Scotland now. You have the load radius maxed out. It's always a balance between it looking good and it performing though, isn't it? Well, I have a 1080 Ti Ripley, so I think I have like 10 or 12 gig of VRAM. It's not taking that. There's the decel point here. Right there, and there's another decel point here. That's going to be quite a sharp turn. After we get to Lanark, what we're going to do is we're going to vector right just a little bit. There are some hills here, if I remember. It gives a bit more chance to make that turn. So we could, of course, slow this down here. We could say... force it to go a little bit slower. So we can make that turn. What livery? It's a Jet 2 livery. All that. Is the PPL training helping you? I think when you fly the jets, the PPL training doesn't help hugely, except it gives you a lot of theoretical understanding about, you know, things like pressures and altitudes and heights and all that good stuff. Still on profile just, but that's kind of creeping up slightly. We're 100 feet off profile, but that's fine. If it gets any worse, we'll have to put the speed brakes out. Okay, 10,000 feet. Fixed lights can come on now. Seatbelt sounds are going on. Yeah, V4. The longevity of FSX is unbelievable. I think the reason for it, Zemar, is because, like, some of the people who play FSX will have moved on to, like, X-Plane because it's a reasonable price. And some of them want to stay within the FSX world. And P3D is like, they won't pay that money. Decel zone as we come into Lanark. We're going to get down to 240 knots while descending. And this bird is greasy. Chase plane, yeah. Chase plane's awesome. I wish we had chase plane in X-Plane, and I wish we had, what's it called? The X-Plane, the pushback tool in X-Plane that's awesome. Can't remember the name of it. I wish we had that in P3D. Jetroy, it has a pretty steep learning curve, bro. Better pushback, that's it. Are you the only one hyping for the Hornet in DCS? I've had people in chat saying, are you gonna try the Hornet? I don't know. Yeah, it has a built-in pushback option, Vada, but better pushback is so cool. Like, it gives you an overhead view of the plane, and you just turn it and put it where you want it, and then it will push you back exactly there. So cool. No guessing, you know? We may have to stick the speed brakes out again shortly. So we're approaching Lanark now, so let's clear ourselves down to 2900, which is our intercept. And after Lanark, we're going to have to start vectoring ourselves a little bit. That's Orbeck, Scotland right there. No, Juju. I've spent that 3 times now, Juju. On V2, V3 and V4 because they don't have any upgrade pricing. That's the really annoying thing about P3D. Okay. So now we are at Lanark. And we're going to vector over to the right a little bit. Nope, there's no upgrade pricing. It's seriously annoying. Well, you can look, Tavers. You need to go and look at the website and decide if you qualify for an academic license. I don't think I qualify for an academic license, so I bought the professional. Right, I want to be 190 at CF23. So when we get to here, it's going to start decelerating. We need to start configuring at that point. Have you been a Jetstar? No. 230 is set. Barrow's been set, minimum's been set. Actually, the barrow's not been set yet because we're still on standard. Which we shouldn't be. Should now be on local. 1013, that's correct. Right. Oh, wrong button. Need to start decel. As the speed comes down, we'll bring in flaps 1. So we're flying towards those hills right now. Is P3D and onto FSX? No, no, no. P3D is like a fork of FSX. It's all steeped in history. It used to be Microsoft Flight Simulator, and then they basically branched off into FSX and P3D. So they have the same heritage, but they're very different now. Okay, flaps 1. It's a lot more stable than FSX, definitely. Okay, flaps 5, so it can reduce down to 160 if it wants to. Alarm the LNAV now. On the VOR localizer, which it should pick up at some point when we make this left turn, which you want to do at about flaps 15. Oh, that's not what I wanted. No, we'll stay slightly wide. Give ourselves a bit more room. ZK Aviator, yeah. I have flown on Vatsim before, but I'll be back on it again soon, I think. Especially if I do it on a Saturday when there's going to be a lot of controls on. Okay, it's not ready for flaps 15 yet. We'll go flaps 10. Imagine going to this hill. You would see so many aircraft come over the top of you on this hill. It's so cool. Okay, if you want to localize that, it's on the approach. Gear down, and we'll go to flaps 15. No, ZK, we're on MSA. 2900 is the height that you fly over those hills. It's pretty scary, but it's correct. Still waiting to capture this glide slope. There it goes. Now we're on glide slope. .145 as our reference speed. Okay, we're now fully configured. Let's assume we've got clearance to land. Continuous, recall checked. I need to fly to Glasgow just to see this approach. I'd quite happily fly in and then just fly out again. Just for the lols. So it's at this point that you'd be punching in your missed approach, wouldn't you? Ouch. Missed approach, climb 30, initially heading straight. And then climbing left turn, hold at VOR. Okay. I won't bother to Cat 3 auto land it, we'll just cancel it and do it manually. Okay, we're on profile, it's good.
1,000.
Careful with the birds on final, lol.